This is Dabu7. We have a Harvard professor making some statements that has some people raising some eyebrows in terms of these radio signals that have come in the past. Now, we've heard about SETI. We're lied to all the time about pretty much everything. And once again, this isn't a panel or a whole bunch of people in Harvard making the statement. It's one professor. And sometimes you have to pay attention to what some of these professors say. Because when everything's so covered up and manipulated and controlled, the truth usually only squeaks out through a couple individuals. Well, what I don't like about the term when they use alien is that they've done a good job of trying to depict the term alien in people's minds as being these little gray men with big eyes and like that's alien. When I believe in reality, there's life across the cosmos, vast, just like there is here on planet Earth. We come in different shapes, colors, and sizes. We speak different languages. Monkeys, birds, all of them come in different shapes and sizes. All kinds of different life forms. And I really think that out there, it's kind of a combination between Star Trek and Star Wars with all the different characters that you can have working for different sides and different interests. Some for the dark, some for the light. And they have to be communicating out there. What this guy says that's interesting, and some of it sounds pretty crazy, but he says for this to be done, they would need this massive light-powered ship deep in space to be sending these RFBs, or fast radio bursts, through space. He says at first he thinks that they misunderstood this. Now, I don't think they misunderstood it. I think they knew full well what it was. No one's wanted to speak about it or say anything until now. And if they were coming across messages out there and they were deciphering them, hearing what was going on, they wouldn't be telling a soul at this point. Okay, there's so much cover-up and deception. But it's interesting that he makes note of this and says that this would be a form and a fashion of communication across the cosmos using these fast radio bursts. And he stops short of explaining in full detail here, but he goes on to state that it would take an Earth-sized solar power generator to pelt these messages across the galaxy. And that right now, such technology is far beyond human capability. Or is it? You have to keep in mind, these governments are 20, 30, 40 or more years ahead of what they tell the public. And if they did, in some form or fashion, pick up a signal and continue to do so, well, they surely ain't telling the people. And I think that this is all setting the stage for a massive deception down the road. When I've talked about many times, this grand spectacle, these false illusions in the skies and in the heavens that they're going to create. And if they were to put the whole world in a position to where they thought there was a different life form here, putting mankind in jeopardy, that's their ploy to try to pull everyone as humans together under one umbrella, under their new world order control. Under this whole staged event that we all know is going to come at some point. They have the technology, they have Blue Beam, they have the means, we've seen it before. They have anti-gravitics, the propulsion, they do have some crazy technology. And all these aircraft and stuff that you see, these orbs, it sometimes is definitely military technology. But I think what's interesting here is the fact that this professor is making these statements no one else would ever want to dare talk about. And it makes you wonder. Some could say, yeah, I can almost guarantee you. I mean, we don't have the proof. Of course, they're not going to tell anyone. But as far as them picking up signals, they would never come out, especially right. They would keep digging and keep going. They keep us in the dark on everything. Plus, that would open up a whole can of worms and a whole nother ball game as to what these messages they're picking up are actually saying. Because then it would explain a whole lot more, and they damn sure don't want you to know that. So, if there ever was a time where they say, oh, we've picked up this message, I'd be very careful with what they relay the message is, especially to the whole world. But An interesting read. Wanted to share it with you guys nonetheless. As always, use discernment, but got to realize that there are going to be professors out there at some point in some places that make comments that their partners around them probably say, "What are you saying? Keep your mouth shut." But the cat's out of the bag. So it has to come through in some form or fashion. There has to be some kind of technology. There has to be a way of communication out there. So to me, it's not too far-fetched. Get you thinking at least. I will leave links. It's been Dabu7.